Hi, Lynsey, baby. It is 10:52 at night here in Boulder. Not too awfully late yet. I finished watching my movie, and I thought, why don't I see about opening my astrology program and bringing up some transits on top of our composite chart. So it's not our what do you call it, synastry, it's the composite. So a midpoint chart that combines both of our natal charts into one, which both Charles and Maurice both use this, for doing relationship readings. And I thought I would just look at what's going on today because it felt like a pretty significant day to me. Maybe you too, I don't know. I still feel so close to you, it's unreal. I hope the quality of this video is okay. I know the video looks, the video of me looks kind of jerky because I'm doing this through a virtual box. So it's stressing the computer's capacities somewhat, the processor. But it's working better than the old computer did, so I couldn't even do this before. So that's our composite in the middle, and the transits here in Boulder as of 18 minutes ago right now. So transiting moon is in Scorpio, and I think it probably was just getting into Scorpio when we first started our phone call. It probably had been in there a little bit, an hour or two at that point. So look at that. It is just about conjunct our Venus Scorpio. It was just coming into orb at that time, 7 degree. So it brings that dark mother energy, that deep connection. Yeah, it's sexual, but it's a soul connection. And we stand for that anyway. Our relationship does. But the moon really highlights it today. So that stands out right away. And then our combined Saturn is also in Scorpio, and that's being opposed right now by transiting Mars conjunct Uranus up there in the 10th house. I wonder if I can, up here. Exactly opposite Saturn. And I was thinking, I'd be interested to hear what you think. But our Saturn in Scorpio in the 5th, the structure of our life as partners is based on, that deep connection, deep emotional connection, down in the realm of the unconscious. And so it's always striking to me how in my most wounded places, sexual trauma, abandonment issues, shame, that you meet me so well. I just always have this feeling like you really know me from experience. And I know that's true. And that really shows up there. So having Mars opposite within a couple of degrees, conjunct Uranus in the 11th house of Uranus. Did I say 10th earlier? It's 11th. So I feel like 5th house Saturn, anything in the 11th house. So we have Jupiter right there at 21 degrees, which is opposite our Saturn in Scorpio in the 5th. Anything transiting over Jupiter is presenting this challenge to the structure of our relationship to broaden or elevate our perspective. That's a better way of saying it. Elevate. Move it to a higher place. To increase our vision, which activates inventiveness and creativity. The very structure, the infrastructure of our life as partners. Wow, do you hear that? I thought that was Brad moving a garbage can out there, and it turned out it was this rolling thunder. It started out a little bit of crackle and then boom. I don't know if that came through or not. Wow. That's interesting. So Saturn, structure of our relationship in Scorpio in the 5th house. Always opposing Jupiter in the 11th. Having Mars and Uranus, the planet of the 11th house, conjoining Jupiter and opposing Saturn. So there's this polarity happening right now, and it's really activated by Mars. And it's this whole idea of embracing a higher vision for us. And I feel like that was embodied somewhat as we lay there unable to speak because we're so overwhelmed by the love. I'm feeling it right now. I'm feeling you. Just the reality of it. I feel like it automatically elevates that consciousness that we share. And that's in response to this opposition. Jupiter wants to give us an actual experience of what it's like. Our relationship, whatever we want to call this, Jupiter, the teacher traveler, covers distance, traveling, but also, widening the horizon of potential experience, while the Uranian part of it, the idealist, like I said, is wanting to elevate, to move our perspective to a higher vantage point. And so that that was all present while we were on the phone. For me, it was a phone. We were on our audio call. So it's just, to me, it's so interesting that, it occurred to you, let's have that conversation tonight with Moon coming around to our Venus. At the same time, Mars is opposing Saturn, conjoining Jupiter, along with Uranus at the same degree. That's powerful. Transiting Sun in the first house is trining Saturn. So we've got this Mars opposition and Sun trine trained on Saturn. All this fire energy. Saturn's in the 5th house. So that goes with the Sun also. All this golden child energy in an easy flow really makes it light. And so I felt more comfortable this time than in previous times that we've talked. And it's not that I was like uncomfortable before, but I mean, we're so shy. Both of us. You maybe even more than me. That shyness is so sweet and so adorable. But it's also like a live wire. It's giggly and it's really hard to settle down. And I was settled down with you tonight, even though I was still shy and I was still kind of overwhelmed emotionally. Maybe you were too. But I wasn't uncomfortable. I was comfortable. There's been some movement there. It feels like to me. And that could be represented by this Sun trining 5th house Saturn in Scorpio. It helps us to acclimate to that deep, intense connection. And then right there, Venus in Leo is trining, it's in the 1st house, is trining our stellium in Sagittarius in the 5th house. So Neptune, Sun, and Mercury all are in orb of this 120 degree separation with Venus. So Venus, the planet of the lovers, is trining our mystic communicator self-perception. That Sun. So that makes me think of, those silent places where we were, just feeling each other, was very mystical. I felt, and I'm speaking for myself here, I felt so aligned with you. It felt like we were breathing together, thinking together, feeling together, without having to talk. Remarkable. Amazing. Beautiful. So powerful. That Pisces Vesica, symbolized there by Neptune, being trined by Venus. God, I'm feeling that energy, that overwhelming energy, just talking about it. So much love. The Mercury is squaring Saturn. So the transiting planet of the communicator, or in this case, let me see, that's masculine. Both, yeah, communicator. Transiting planet of the communicator and composite natal version of the communicator are both active in our transit reading. So there's this challenge or imperative or process that is impacting our ability to, not necessarily in a bad way. I mean, I think it's both good and challenging at the same time, but impacting our ability to make conscious sense of what's going on, to put it into a conceptual framework. On the one hand, Venus is trining our Mercury. And so there's this light-hearted acceptance based on love, based on that love connection that flows, that unfolds naturally and that makes it easy to share. With transiting Mercury squaring Saturn, there may be how would I say this? There may be, because it's an internal challenge, there's still this, despite all of the powerful connection and the desire and the wanting to be together, there's still that practical question mark. How would it happen? What would that look like? What are the details? And so this square is kind of talking about that. It's a fast moving square. So I'm only talking about basically just, right now. Maybe, another week and a half. No, not even that. Let's see, Saturday. Yeah, another week and a half. It'll peak in 5 days. It'll be at its strongest, and then it starts to wane for another week after that. So close to 2 weeks, give or take. But it's a time of being challenged by those kinds of conceptual models. Ideas. And like I said, it's not like negative. It's more like this being confronted. And oftentimes out of that experience come solutions. Or, it presents this opportunity to apply a creative attitude to what's going on and to make choices around what to believe, what's possible, those kinds of things. So that's that Mercury squaring Saturn. again, I'm curious to hear how you'd read that. South node is on Uranus, and it's almost exact, which means north node being on top of Chiron is opposing Uranus. That seems to highlight, that idealist, raising our perspective to a higher level, a higher platform. There's a karmic element there. It's happening in the sign of Libra, the lovers. They're in the 4th house of family. Oh, I mean, shit. Half of our planets are in the 4th house of family. Almost the whole other half is in the 5th house of the golden child. So yeah, there's this karmic lesson coming to bear on this whole idea of a shared vision. And I feel like in a way we're doing that naturally. It's evolving naturally. Anyway, these are the kinds of things that I'm seeing tonight. There's so much more. Transiting Neptune up there is opposite our Pluto, 4th house. It's a slow moving process, so I'm not really reading that too much. Transiting Jupiter is opposing Mercury. So we're getting a lot of teacher, traveler, communicator kind of stuff going on. Trying to learn, trying to adapt, trying to gain wisdom through experience. And like I said, to be able to express it and to come to some kind of mental concept that we can use, we can rely on, we can build on. That opposing Mars feels like a big deal. Their desire is found in Scorpio. There's that Saturn in Scorpio. Before Pluto was discovered, of course, Mars went with Scorpio. And so Mars, the planet, has a lot to do with desire also. And not only desire, but achieving desire. Going after what is desired. Asserting one's will to fulfill desire. And so getting in touch with what we desire, what we want, and admitting it, letting it exist. Okay, well, that's out there on the table. Now what do we do with it? Well, Mercury square Saturn is like, well, we have to ask all kinds of questions and gain clarity and organize all these concepts. Be consciously aware. Take responsibility, Saturn. formulate a vision. Uranus. Anyway, composite charts no different than reading a natal chart. The only difference is it's for two people. It's for a partnership. So, like I said, I'd love to hear what you think. Share with me next time we talk. Okay, sweetheart, this is my love letter. My big one for the night. I'm going to process it and upload it to YouTube and give you a link. And then tomorrow morning, I want to be back with my baby because I love you. I adore you. I want you. I cherish you. I want to be with you. I'm so connected to you. I feel you so powerfully. My heart belongs to you. Okay, sweetheart. Until next time. Mwah.